Hey, good morning and welcome. I'm Karen. This is Barnica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot. Today is Wednesday. It's going to be our daily reading. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Um, just trying something new. See what you think. Let's see. Also me. I'm going to use Somnia Tarot. I hope everyone's doing fantastic. Getting into Halloween season here. Let's see what's going on. What is happening? So current situation is Hermit. Okay. So then what we're going to do is, what is the challenge? This is challenge or obstacles, and then, which is the Knight of Wands, and the good stuff, strengths, things like that, the Tower. Unknown energy, the Hierophant, and where does this lead? Outcome is the Page of Wands to the Page of Swords. Both pages, a lot of times I see the pages as new beginnings too. They're not necessarily like an ace, but kind of, because the young of the youngness of them. I have the Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, the feeling of, some kind of disappointment here, that I think that's what's leading to this Hermit energy of being, just I got to figure it out. There's just something that's disappointing, or you've been disappointed. And I think right now you're just in a searching mode. That's what I feel like the current situation is. Knight of Wands is like things aren't happening quick enough. That's the obstacle. You want things to move forward. You feel like things are moving backwards. And of course, the strength being that Tower is like, this is the good stuff. Things are changing. Things are going to change. And that's why that's in the good stuff. What you don't see is the Hierophant. There feels to me like there might be something where you will either be making a commitment, or there's a higher calling, and we'll clarify to make good on that. And looking at these as well, pages, I feel like where this leads, the Page of Wands to me can be jumping into something. I'm going to jump into it, and then the next stage, yeah, I've jumped in. Now I'm going to, narrow it down and really put in the the details, making sure everything's lined out the way you want it to be. So let's pull clarifiers. I'm going to pull one clarifier per card, so do it a little bit differently. Okay. The Hermit is the Sun, the Knight of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the Tower, Five of Wands, the Hierophant, King of Swords. Okay, Page of Wands is Ace of Wands, and Page of Swords is Five of Cups, because you don't want to be disappointed again. That's the bottom of the deck. There is the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, this is the search for happiness here, the joy, the sun. This disappointment, you're done with it. You're the thing with this reading, and it's obvious that you're putting the energy in, which is really good, and that's the search here. And the Sun is just clarifying that that's what you want. You just are looking for some kind of joy. Now, this is probably a particular situation for you, whether it's a job disappointment, or a relationship disappointment, or family project. There's something here, but you're like, I know there's something better. That's why the Hermits are, which is really nice. I mean, that's good that you know that. And your challenge or obstacle makes sense. Like, things are not moving fast enough for you. They're just not. You're feeling very stuck. You're feeling very much like, okay, I'm just can't move. So you're really feeling like nothing's moving. And that's something that you have to overcome or deal with. And I don't feel like I think it's maybe just being impatient, like knowing that you have to work for a while on something. It just might be hard. And having the tower, right? I said the tower in your strength, things are changing, something's going to change. Also, the tower is a destiny card. When you're not doing something or something's not happening the way spirit intends them to happen, that's when the tower comes in, and that's a positive thing. Sometimes things just need to be changed. And the 5 of Wands, I think there's some kind of conflict that will be changed here. So like you might be in some kind of conflicted state about a situation where you're like, okay, well, no, I'm not going to be that way anymore. I'm just not. That it'll change. Now, I do not believe this is energy you're going to be putting forth. This is coming from the divine because that's where the tower comes from. It's not. Sometimes, like when I see the tower in advice, I absolutely, use it towards the specific person. But in an overall situation, the tower is not something you do. It's something the universe does, or happens without you. There's nothing you can do. All you can do is continue on your journey and continue to do the work that you have to do. Well, you have to work hard and you got to keep doing it. The Hierophant in the unknown with the King of Swords, I feel like this, for some people, for some of you, this is going to be someone that's going to help you. You may be able to do a commitment or create a commitment with somebody that is going to either give you direction or help you stay focused. I feel like for some of you, this king is absolutely someone that's going to help you. Doesn't have to be male, but it's definitely someone strong and someone that you trust and someone you respect. You don't necessarily always like them, though. That's the King of Swords, but you definitely respect them. And so there is some kind of commitment coming in for you. Uh, I do feel like this is going to absolutely kick you off into this, Page of Wands, Ace of Wands, which I love because this is jumping in. You're saying, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. And I think it has to do with this commitment. And I feel like once you do this, you feel like this is what's going to really bring you joy because it comes from that hermit energy. You're searching right now. And when that unknown commitment comes in, you go, you know what? I'm going to do it. Page of Wands. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to do it. Ace of Wands. An exciting new beginning. That energy of the fire, the excitement. And it really feels good. Like you're going to just jump in and do this. I love that it's clarified with the Ace of Wands because it definitely shows that it's a new beginning. Now, what we have next is the Page of Swords with the Five of Cups, as the Five of Cups being the clarifier. So what I feel like here is the Page of Swords is that energy of also planning and working really hard at something. You start something with the energy of I'm not going to start small, I'm going to start big. However, I feel like if you start too big, you might be disappointed. So maybe look at going, okay. So the example I use with this is the Page of Swords has a sword and they're young and they say, okay, I want to learn and I want to use that biggest sword that there's available. And I'm not going to start with the smaller swords and work my way up. I'm going straight to the big one and work on it until I get it. That's not a bad thing, but sometimes that big sword may not be. You may not be able to handle it right away, right? So this may be a cautionary Five of Cups that you know maybe just start slow or slower and then work your way up. It doesn't mean that this thing won't work if you go all out. It's not saying that. I think there's just, if you don't want to be disappointed or if you don't want to start something where you feel like you're going to become disappointed again, work, jump in and start doing the work, but don't necessarily go towards the this or nothing, because then you might be disappointed. Life changes all the time. It's constantly changing, constantly you know, things are happening, and you may think, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing. Well, maybe there's a change that comes in and says, okay, just kind of slow down a little bit and really decide what you want to do. What is the advice for today? What is our advice for today? The justice. Okay, so as far as advice goes, the justice reminds us to really balance things out a little bit. I think it's also like a warning to make sure that you're doing the right thing, not just for yourself, but in general. Um, you know, that you're not, that you don't have some kind of plan that might hurt somebody, or, and we don't do that. I know that most people don't, the majority of the people do not do this intentionally, but there could be something that could really hurt someone. Just make sure that your intentions are true and good and right for you, but not out to hurt. And I feel like that's the right way to go with the justice card. It's always about, you know, we need to keep balance in our life, and that's the other thing too, is to keep that balance. Make sure that you're, sometimes when you go all in, it's easy to lose sight of other things around you. So it's just asking you not to lose sight of that, not to lose sight of the things around you. Stay balanced, and also balanced. And like I said, in the respect that, are you doing what's really right for you, and make sure that this King of Swords energy is not doing something right for them and not for you. And I think that you'll have a really great way forward. So there you have your reading for today. Please let me know what you think of that style. I kind of like it. It's nice and short, to the point. Let me know. I'd be curious. I mean, I'm flexible because I haven't come up with my plan moving forward yet, but we're getting there. So take care. Have a beautiful day.